I just switched systems. Oh yeah, so what have I been playing? Animal Crossing. I was playing Baseball Search Professional the other day because I think we're gonna stream that on Extra Life Day. Yeah, here's what it was. It was Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Um, Monster Boy was an old series on like the Master System and the Genesis. Um, and this is a new game for it. And I'm stuck somewhere, and I just haven't had a chance to look it up. I was doing another run through Diablo, but I kind of stopped after a couple of hours. And these trying games that are annoying. Yeah, Monster Boy demo. Yeah, so we need Super Nintendo. So hopefully this is up. They said that it was going up today. Yeah, okay, so Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary. The original Japanese release of Super Mario Brothers game was September 13th, 1985. Oh, that's interesting that they have a date for it because so many games back then don't really have a date. Like games didn't come out like they do now where, like FIFA comes out on whatever day it comes out on. Like games just kind of like came out in like a month or a couple of months because you had to wait for it to show up in your local area store. And uh, that's interesting that they have a date for it that may or may not be kayfabed. To mark the occasion, we are making the Super Mario All Stars game available. We hope you enjoy playing Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels. That is the hardest game ever. It's painful. Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, all improved audio and visual. Yeah, that came out on Super Nintendo. There's something new to play. Super Mario Brothers All Stars. This was also reissued on the Wii, and I guess it's like a kind of a rare game apparently. Like they didn't make too many of them. Cuz I think I think we have it at my parents' house. Whenever I get out there, I got to look. But yeah, so this was all the old games like remixed. So Mario 1, the Lost Levels, which is, the real Super the real Super Mario 2 that didn't actually come out here. And then Mario 2 that, I mean everybody knows at this point that it was originally Doki Doki Panic and whatnot because in Japan they thought that we were all too stupid to play a hard game. And then Mario 3, which is actually pretty hard itself. But yeah, Mario the Lost Levels is pretty tough. Let's play Mario 2. So I usually play as Toad. Alright, plays pretty smoothly. So this was all new. What was interesting about this game was it was all new enemies because it wasn't an actual Mario game originally. So when this came out, and a lot of the sequels in the NES era were very different from the originals. Like Zelda 2 was very different, and some other games. That was kind of the idea, was to not just do the same thing again. And so Zelda 2's like way different from Zelda 1 and whatnot. And Zelda 2's really been vindicated, I think, in recent years because there's so many indie games that very much go for that style. Like that Agalos game is like Metroidvania except Zelda 2. It's pretty good. But I'm at like 90% finished with it. And I gotta look at a guide and figure out, what I haven't done to trigger the end. There's nothing back here, right? Nope. Never sure why the timer's there. Makes no sense. Alright, we gotta time this a little better. There we go. Gotcha. High score. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I keep seeing it every time I turn on my PS4. It keeps telling me to watch it, and I just haven't had a chance. Yeah, I'm sure it's good. And then these are Birdos, who are, and I believe this is now canonical that Birdos are trans. Because there's some confusion about their genders back then. Oh, I used to be so good at this when I was a kid. I'd end up with like 50 lives. We played Super Mario 2 on Extra Life Day like 2 or 3 years ago, and I had like 45 lives at one point because I just kept nailing the extra credit thing. I wonder if them calling it high score is a reference to that show High Score Girl. It's all about man, that show is like so in my wheelhouse. There's like an episode all about how great the Sega Saturn is and stuff like that. I'm watching it and I'm just like, wow, this is a show made for me. Too much fighting game stuff though. But man, that's the good era. Is there anything down here? Oh yeah, here's where the key is. Right. What's really cool is you can use the keys as weapons. Really in a PS5, If it's easy to acquire, sure, why not? If it's not, no, I can wait. So here's the thing: when the PS4 came out, there were like no games on that system for a really long time. There were a bunch of like redos of PS3 games, and I think there was like a new Assassin's Creed maybe, and that was about it. And it was months of nothing. I remember there was one RPG, and if Sarah was here, she could tell you all about it too. It was called, um, it was like Shadow of the Flame or something like that, and it was so buggy and just awful. And I remember Sarah and I used to always talk about there was a like a witch in the game that was like pretty old, and I remember they gave her like boob armor, and it was just the most like ridiculous looking thing, like this like 80-year-old woman with like boob armor. And I remember Sarah and I used to laugh about it all the time, like, what the hell? Like, what were you thinking? Oh, I missed the mushroom. That's okay. Oh, no, wait, I have them both. Never mind. But yeah, I mean, if it's easy to get, sure. Yeah, I saw the Spider-Man, yeah. Yeah, those, not really my thing, but those games look really cool. But like when the Switch came out, I mean, like day one, you've got Breath of the Wild. Um, there were a couple other games already that you could play and just kind of dive right into. But if it's a pain to get, I can wait. I think the potion goes on the bridge. Yeah, and it'll launch with like FIFA and stuff like that, but I'm gonna probably even wait to buy FIFA this year because of the transfer window isn't over until sometime in October. So even if I wanted to start career mode, I'd have to wait. So I think I'm just gonna hold off till like Thanksgiving. All those EA sports games on Black Friday are always like 50% off every year. So if you can wait, you can save a ton of money. Oh, you know what I should have done? Instead of using Toad, I should have used the Princess for this. That's okay. There's a warp zone over here. I think it's here, right? Yeah. So unlike in the first game where they give you the option when you do the warps of going to level 2, 3, or 4, they make you go to 4. I mean, whatever. That's fine. Yeah, and these are, it's real slick, this level. It doesn't really matter so much for this one, but one of the ones coming up, it really, really matters for. Let's put the remakes of Resident Evil. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We were just playing NHL 93 on the stream a couple weeks ago. NHL 93 is so good. That was the week we were playing Mutant League football. I like doing the 2-hour streams because we can split it into 2 games. And the way I edit it to upload it later, you wouldn't even know. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't usually do the those modes. I did it the first year they did the FIFA one. I did it. But then the second and I got my player to he's made it in his first year with Manchester United, scored a game winner in the FA Cup final, and I'm like, "Oh, this is so great." And then, I'm like, wow, this was kind of cool. I'm going to do this again next year. And then the next season, no matter what you do, your created pro puts in a transfer request because there's rumors in the newspaper that Real Madrid wants to sign him, and like you can't stop it. And so you end up, and I'm just like, well, what was the point in the first year of having me pick this player to play on, the club I support, if in the second year you're gonna make him leave? That's like really stupid. And so I never played it again because I was just like, whatever, that's dumb. It's just like, I don't know, it just made no sense to me. And they don't even have it in this year's game because all that stuff's now built into the post game interviews that you do as a manager. All those interactions as Alex, I forget what his name was even. So we gotta go slow here. This is about where this game starts getting really hard. And there's no timer. So take your time. I have, what, 12 lives? 12 lives. Plenty. Do any of them go? I guess they don't go the other way. I was gonna say, if one of them went the other way, I bet speedrunners. This past several months was the Doom remake. Yeah, yeah. I never really got into Doom. There was a kid in my neighborhood who was obsessed with Doom. This kid Gary. I have a hard time playing first-person games. Like I can't see them right. So, like even back then. There we go. Yeah, so now we gotta go over here. Yeah, I can't play first person games. I just. Oh! Yeah, I like open world games, but not like too open world, I guess. There's a certain point there where it gets kind of monotonous. You should have been here for all those Dragon's Dogma streams we did. All like 20 of them, like 3 years ago. That game's like the kind of... Actually, if that game was a little bigger, maybe. But in general, it's like pretty much the ideal size. I have no idea where the mushroom is here. Oh, oh. I don't know if I ever watched a speed run of this. That'd be interesting. I didn't see it on Games Done Quick this year. I did see someone again wreck a Dragon Warrior in like an hour, and I was just like, jeez. Oh, does having the star knocks out the water. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, this is gonna be tough. You gotta drop down, 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 and let the water go. And you gotta walk over. There we go. Oh, that's where the Oh, okay. That's where the potion's supposed to go. That's okay. Oh yeah, right. You gotta jump on it. That's right. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. If Dragon's Dogma was a little bigger, I think it would be kind of perfect. It's a little bigger. The west side of that map is kind of small. Like once you open it up, it's kind of pretty underwhelming. Yeah, this is the one that shoots out the fireballs. Oh, yeah, this game gets hard. I think on Extra Life Day, we got to like World 6 and then just kind of hit a wall. That was, it was 2018 or 2018, I think, was the... Um, I just let them pick. Jeez. I just let them pick basically whatever they want out of the book. Um, I don't really require any individual films because most of the students who take that class are taking it because they're like film buffs. So they already, jeez, they already have a pretty good interest in it. Although sometimes students just kind of take it because they need an elective. But all right, now wait, wait. There we go. Get down here. Oh, jeez. There's two. Blocked. There we go. Finally. Yeah, the film course is cool. Yeah, I teach it every fall. It's really good. Cause yeah, most of the students who take it, they're like really already into film. So, it's pretty cool. Alright, so there's definitely something over here, probably, right? Yep. There we go. Oh, yeah, right, right, right. You gotta get on the egg. Right. There's one coming down, right? Yeah. Yeah, David Lynch is really good. I really like a couple of his films. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, though. Oh, Mulholland Drive was the one that I really liked. So, yeah, okay. So you gotta hop on the red guy. So let me go down here, let me go down here, and then jump on him, and then... Alright, here we go. Yeah, this is clever. and then you got to jump off him because he'll crash into you at some point. You got to be careful here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then what's the other one? Tipping the Velvet? Is that the other Lynch film? I think that's him. Alright, so we gotta trick these. Yeah, make them fall. There we go. Yeah, Blue Velvet. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Right. Alright, how do I do this? There we go. Yeah, this is how you do it. Watch this. Oh, that was cheap. Oh, cool. At least it puts you right here. Yeah, it's just, there's one. There's two. And three. Oh. All right. You got to put them all at... I got an idea. I got an idea. Watch this. Now, we get up here. stack these up. And then watch this. Drop all. Alright, this is a problem. Oh, dude. Let's try doing this with Toad. We're losing a lot of lives. This game's hard. Oh, jeez. Oh, that wasn't fair. Okay, there's one. Yeah, okay. This is tough. Because everything's just high enough that... And the hit detection on the flames, like that one, are, yeah, are a little on the ridiculous side. Ah, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I gotta move my foot. Ow. Oh, shoot. My foot fell asleep. Ow. Jeez, that hurt. Oh. Yeah, and then when you continue, you gotta go back to the beginning of 4, right? Yeah, alright, whatever. Reset game. We'll try playing the lost levels. Yeah, generally all the Mario games are pretty hard. The first one's not too bad until near the end. And then the second one's tough. The third one's really hard. And the third one had no continues, so you had to do it all in one shot. I mean, you could warp through it, but it's still tough. And it was on the Super Nintendo that Mario World's hard, but a lot more doable. In fact, most of us beat Mario World pretty quick because there's a couple shortcuts you can use to get to the end. Yeah, so this game did not come out in America until the All Stars, because Nintendo was convinced that dumbass Americans would not be able to play this game. And yeah, so you see a mushroom there, and it's actually a poison mushroom. Yeah, this game is intense. I streamed it once before, and I got to like world 4 somehow. But it might not seem like it yet, but this game is really, really hard. Like right there, for example. They just kind of throw everything at you. But this didn't come out in America. It came out, in '86, but it didn't come out in America until '93. In fact, most of us didn't even know it existed until like before this, but not too far beforehand. Like I think I read in a game magazine, like Game Informer or something like that, EGM, that was like, oh yeah, there's this other Mario game. I was just like, what? That was right around the time you started finding out that there were all these other Final Fantasy games that, and again, us, as per Japan, us stupid idiots in America would not understand because we were a bunch of babies. Do you have a favorite Mario game? Mario World. Um, Mario World. Mario World. Mario RPG. 2. 64. 3D World. I think. Yeah, so here's something that's a little different. You gotta make this jump. And see? It's kinda hard. So I'm just gonna dive bomb over it. so this is, way harder than 1, 2 in the first game. I also really like Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, even though it's kind of a baby game. I was actually just replaying that recently. You can beat it in like 30 minutes, but it's pretty fun. I'm not a big Super Smash person. Um, I'm just not really a big fighting game person. Oh yeah, Kenya. Ooh, almost. Huh. I want to like those Mario Tennis games. Like I have the demo for the Switch one, but I don't want to pay $60 for it. Like that's a game I'll pay like $20 for, but I don't want to pay 60. Now, why are there flying octopuses? I don't know. Why wouldn't there be flying octopuses? Octopi? Ugh. Now, can I make it go the other way? If I hit it, no. Yeah, you basically can't. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but oh, yeah. I guess if you ran under it, you'd have to hit it and then get enough momentum. Yeah, I mean it's physically possible, but not me. One of the problems with this game, though, And even with Mario World, in the post Super Mario Maker world, you really see how these games were put together, and there are parts of them that are like just like really silly in like that, like, oh, let's just have like three turtles run at you, like some like silly nonsense you would do in a Mario Maker level. And mm, it's kind of to its detriment a little bit, I think. A little bit. I did a run through Mario World back in the spring for the podcast, and that was a thought I had around World like 3 or so, that there's just some silliness in it that reminds me of um yeah, something you'd see in a Mario, in some ridiculous Mario Maker level. And I don't know, it kind of like kills the vibe a little bit. These jumps are very hard to do. Oh, whoops. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's I mean, those Mario Maker games are cool, but that's one of the things that like they break kayfabe in a way that like you really see how these games were designed. And yeah, especially in Mario World, there's stuff that, oh geez, I think kind of harms it a little bit. Like once we do the podcast, you know, like game rankings wise, I think it's gonna go down a bit more than I would have thought it would have. And I'm not the only person to say that. I heard somebody on another podcast say the same thing. I made it. I was gonna say there's got to be something there. Oh, yeah, they trap you in the corner. Actually, let's go. What's cool on the Switch is if you pause, well, it'll do that. But if you hold down the L2 and R2, like on an emulator, you can rewind, which is pretty cool. Useful from time to time. Oh, I was not paying attention. Here's another one of these jumps, and then you gotta kind of hit the brakes so you don't crash. Oh, yeah, right. You have to go. Yeah. See, this is stupid, too. Because you can't go backwards, so you have to lose a life. Yeah, it's like really unnecessary. And I know they're trying to be hard, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of dumb. And so I guess you got to go in that one. Because then, yeah, you can't make it across. Yeah, I mean, that's not being hard. That's just being, like, ridiculous. And then, yeah, you can have to continue. Yeah, alright, whatever. I'm bored. What time is it? 8:36. Alright, we'll play till 9. Because then Greg's going to start to stream. We'll go Mario 1. So this was actually not the first NES game I played. This was actually like the third. Because we didn't get an NES till 88. Late 88. Like Christmas 88. And so I'd already played at somebody else's house. I'd played Zelda and Super Pitfall, which we streamed. Oh, when was that? It was a couple of years ago now, I guess. We streamed Super Pitfall. That is the not the worst game we've ever streamed. I still think that's Deadly Towers, but it's up there. think it's Dracula X, Super Pitfall, Deadly Towers. Yeah, that's an interesting game ranking issue when I get to those on the pod. Is Deadly Tower is what's worse, Deadly Towers or Super Pitfall? My God. I think it actually might be it might be Super Pitfall. Because I think Deadly Towers, there's like a good game in there somewhere. If you just, you know, hired new people to redo it. But Super Pitfall is just a disaster. And so this was always super cool to do. And of course, up here is the warp zone if you go up on the top. And then right here too is the -1 world thing. That it turns out we found out in recent years was not actually intended to be in the game. It's a bug. Because there's actually other ways, it turns out, to break the game and do like similar stuff where you end up in some weird world. But Nintendo Power lied to us and said, "Oh yeah, it's like this secret world you discovered," and it was like, no, it's actually a bug. Like it's like a bug that people found like 30 years before, more than 30 years before people like did speed runs and stuff like that, like trying to break things. That was the first one I remembered. That, and there was one in Zelda 2, and I just actually watched someone I follow on here was the person doing Zelda 2 for Games Done Quick, and I forget what her name is. She streams all like retro stuff, and she was doing some just insane exploits on Zelda 2, just like just totally just smashing the game to bits, to like warp to different parts of it, and it was just unbelievable. But there was one that I remember, there was a thing in Nintendo Power back then. There was a town, town where you could, if you stood on top of a house and you did something, and then you held down, it warped you into like some other part of the game. But if I recall correctly, the problem was that you didn't have what you needed to be in that part of the game yet, so you couldn't really do anything with it. But it turns out that game is like super buggy, and you can yeah. I forget her name. It's something with, it begins with a D. I don't remember. But she just, I was just like, I just sat there like wow, this is something else to watch. My favorite speedrun on the Games Done Quick was the Dragon Warrior one, where the dude had it to where he knew which steps he had to take in the game to like make sure that he never had any random encounters. And I mean, that's just like, that's amazing. I mean, in a lot of those old games, you can kind of figure out the patterns of them. The last time I went through Final Fantasy, which was like, yeah, it was sometime during Pandemic Protocol, as Retronauts likes to call it. for the pod, I started kind of noticing a pattern a little bit of if I do this many steps here and there, I get random encounters or I don't. You know, so if I sat there for long enough, I could figure it out. Sure. I'm just glad someone else does that, so I don't have to. Yeah, I love watching them. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's just like not really my way to play games though. So I never really done much with it outside of back in the '90s, um, when ROMs first started. It used to be fun to like find out like exploits in games where you could just like do all kinds of weird stuff with them. That was kind of cool. Oh, come on. There we go. Remember when I replayed this for the podcast? I actually died in this level because I couldn't get it over. I couldn't get it to float over, and I ran out of time the first time. I feel like such an idiot. One of my other favorite speedruns is there's this woman I follow on here. She's from Norway, I think. She's a younger woman, and she speedruns retro games. And if you're on in the morning, she practices Mega Man 2, and she's found some really weird ways to cut corners in that game that I wish I'd known about a couple of them, back in 1988 or 89. There's one in Clickman stage that makes your life a lot easier as you're going through that stage. Because there's one part of that stage that's a little on the tough side. And she found a way to just kind of ignore it. The only time I've ever really done much like a speed run is when I've kind of broke something and exploited things. Horizon Zero Dawn was a game where you could break the game world, basically, like in Dragon Age, same kind of way that you could in Dragon Age Inquisition, where you could just like drop. There are all these parts in Dragon Age Inquisition that you could just like fall through the map basically, and then do a bunch of weird stuff. And Horizon Zero Dawn was oh, Kate just came on. Horizon Zero Dawn was very much the same. I actually got stuck in Horizon Zero Dawn a couple times because I just like got like up against a wall that I guess you weren't supposed to be up against, and the game just like breaks. But yeah, Inquisition's got a whole ton of places where you can do some. You basically you make yourself fall through the floor, and then you're like in a weird like beta thing. You can do some different stuff. It's interesting. That game was a buggy mess. Yeah, I've beaten it. Yeah, that game is very big. Too big. That's an example of a too big. for sure. And I get it that they were trying to like overcompensate from how small the second one was, but man, did they go in the wrong direction with that. Yeah, I've beaten all three of those games. I love the first one, the Origins. That game is awesome. It plays like Baldur's Gate. It's like an old school RPG. Yeah, I remember the one level in Inquisition, the one of the first ones you go to that it's like raining all the time. There was something I was trying to find in there, and it was like needle in a haystack trying to find it. And I remember just being like, "This is so stupid." Like, and I ended up, and what was weird too was I was able to go to Endgame. You can get to Endgame pretty quick if you do everything in the right. And I just like randomly did everything in like whatever order you needed to, and that like I got that screen that you get in BioWare games where they're like, "Oh, if you go here, you can't go back." And I was like, "Whoa!" And I'd only been playing for like I don't know 20 hours maybe, and I was just kind of like, "What? Okay, that's weird." And I ended up playing it for another like 40, doing stuff. And then but yeah, by the end of it, I was pretty frustrated. And then the DLCs were weird for that game. The first one is fine. It's like you fight a dragon at the end of it. There's like this weird thing with some clan, and they do some Inquisitor Dagna shipper stuff, which is pretty funny. They knew everyone was gonna be into her, I guess. And then the second one's the one that where you can break it, the final battle. You can break it really good. And you end up where you basically have to do it like you would in an NES game where you just kind of run around. Oh, come on. I hate the physics here. You just kind of have to run around the boss and just keep like hitting them and dodging until you beat him. And it's like pretty silly. And then the third one where they like the third DLC sets up Dragon Age 4 at the end. Ghost of Tsushima took me 2 weeks to do the side quests. Yeah, platinum trophies. On Player One this week, they were talking about platinum trophies and how, like, however many years the system's been out, like everybody on the podcast had like two platinum trophies. I think I have like three or something like that. I have hundreds of like bronze and whatnot, but only a couple of platinums. And I think they were I think the platinum ones I have are from The Last of Us because I 100%ed that game. And I kind of didn't mean to, but I just kind of inadvertently did. And I think that's where they are. I think that's where they're from. And one of them might be from Dragon Age also. But yeah, that first Dragon Age Origins, that game is awesome. That is like a super nerdy old school RPG. And the second one's like a weird like action game. It's got that cute lesbian blood elf witch or whatever she was, Merle. Maybe one of my platinums is from a FIFA game too. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure one or two of them are from The Last of Us. I wish they'd reissue the Dragon Age games. Um, there were rumors that there was going to be a Mass Effect reissue for the PS5. It'd be great to get the Dragon Age games on a modern console. I'd replay Origins for sure. I don't know if I'd replay the other ones, but I definitely replay Origins. That would get me to buy a PS5. If like a month from now they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3." I'd be like, "Hell yeah, sign me up." Or Dragon Age also. What I want back is the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which people still do play. I logged onto it one day in like April, and there were like 10 people on there playing. It was awesome. I hopped on my mic and I was like, hi. And, they were playing through the game. So they were playing the multiplayer. I was like, that's awesome. That multiplayer was so cool. And then the Inquisition one sucked because you had to play as a team with people, and oh, so many people were just terrible at that game. That was the game that I had to get on the mic and just like start screaming at people one night because they were just not doing what they needed to do. And I was like, all right, everybody stop what you're doing. Listen to me. Okay, here's what we're going to do. And it was all, I don't want to use the word casuals, but you know what I mean? And I had to do some, I had to do some group discipline. I used to have a couple students I used to play the Mass Effect multiplayer with. This dude, Edward, and one of his friends. We used to play FIFA all the time too. Actually, a couple of my coworkers have like a FIFA. They have like a FIFA league. They do. I recently found out some of my coworkers have a D&D thing too. Yeah, the Citadel DLC is cool. Yeah, the multiplayer, it's just like so awesome. They put you in these like game maps where your team has to just like fight through everything, and it's really cool. It's like the ideal multiplayer basically. All right, 8:57. We'll do one more level and then I am heading over to Greg Stewart's stream. And I don't even know what he's playing tonight. That's a good question. I did not look. But yeah, I love those BioWare games. And I mean, they just reissued Baldur's Gate and all those Neverwinter Nights and all that stuff. So, because I own it on the, I don't think I've loaded Baldur's Gate yet, but I've been playing that new game that's like that Divinity Original Sin. That game's pretty good. Although that's another one where I'm kind of like lost in it and can't figure out how to trigger something. So I gotta at some point. I gotta I gotta look it up. All right, so that's it for tonight. So we beat Super Smash TV. How about that? That's pretty cool. And we played some Mario All Stars because this just came out today. If you go back, to game selection, this just came out today on the Super Nintendo online thing, which also has Donkey Kong Country, which sucks. Natsumi Championship Wrestling, which is the American port of a All Japan Pro Wrestling game from the NES. Wild Guns, which is not good. This is one of those Puyo Puyo games that everyone but me seems to like. Operation Logic Bomb is kind of cool. I remember renting this game, and I don't know, it's kind of cool. Twinbee, Smash Tennis, Super Star Fox 2, Super Punch Out. That does not star that one guy. Kirby, Breath of Fire 2, Brawl Brothers, Breath of Fire, and Breath of Fire 2. We got to stream at some point. Demon's Crest, F Zero, Pilot Wings, Kirby. I don't know why Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics is on here, but sure, why not? Star Fox, Stunt Racer FX, Earth Defense Force. I have a coworker who swears by Earth Defense Force. And UN Squadron. All those weird Jalico games. Super Golden Ghost, Super Metroid, Mario World 2. We just streamed Mario World 2 recently. Mario Kart, Mario World, Super Soccer. That game sucks. Super Tennis, and Link to the Past. So next week, we're gonna play Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which is out in apparently like about 30 seconds. I think it's loadable. So I might hop on there tonight and play for a little while. But we're gonna stream Tony Hawk 1 next week, and then Tony Hawk 2 the week after that, and then I think the week after that is gonna be Mario 64 because that'll be out the reissue by then. So we'll jump into that too. And then in October, as has become tradition on the stream, we're going to play through a Castlevania game. And so we're going to play through Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, all month. And we should be able to get through it. If I have a good guide. I need to look up a guide that's just like, okay, make this dumb and easy for me. And yeah, so Drew, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We had other people in and out. When I hit end stream, I get an email with all my statistics for the night. So very cool. All right. Talk soon. Where's my mouse?